Today we are building the product backlog as a part of the Scrum process. Scrum is an agile framework used mostly in software development and product development and things like that. In contrast to the waterfall technique, where you'd see like Gantt charts where it's like do this, then once this is done, then this, then this, and this, and these beautiful charts. But the punchline and the reality of those charts is they look beautiful. They're more like artifact art pieces, but they're never actually accurate and they don't help you get things done. So this is a framework for project or product management to actually push things through and get things shippable and done faster. So today what we have to do of implementing Scrum, how to do it, is we're creating the product backlog. So it's step number 4. Let me read you the other ones real quick. First is you pick a product owner. So who's the person that makes all the decisions of everything that we want to accomplish? In this case, is going to be me. Number 2, you pick your team. You've got a team that can execute and deliver on all the things that need to be done. So it's multi-dimensional. In our case, it'd be great to have some coaches, to have some marketing, and to have some, say, customer service people all on the same team so we can get everything done. We don't need to outsource anything else. Next is you pick a Scrum Master. In this case, this will be me as well. This is the person that's organizing the framework, that's like basically running the meetings, that making sure that we're getting things out of the way that need to be gotten out of the way, and you're just helping kind of corral the team's energies. Which brings me to number 4, which is where we're at right now, which is create and prioritize a product backlog. So this is a list of the high level of everything that needs to be built or done to make the vision a reality. This backlog exists and evolves over the lifetime of the product. It's a product roadmap. At any point, the product backlog is the single definitive view of everything that could be done by the team ever in order of priority. Only a single product backlog exists. This means the product owner is required to make prioritization decisions across the entire spectrum. The product owner should consult with all stakeholders in the team to make sure that they're representing both what the people want and what we can actually build. All the things that need to be done in this ambitious goal that we have, which is doing better in our 6-week sales program than we did in the previous quarter. Last quarter, we ran a 6-week transformation program with some decent results, but now it's like, we're going to roll that over to this upcoming quarter for our new OKR, and our goal is to do better than what we did in the past. And so how are we going to do that? Well, we got to figure out, well, how do we measure that? What does better even look like? And then what are the artifacts or the things that we can build to help us get there? And so that's part of the product backlog. Like, hey guys, what are all the ideas that we're going to come up with of like how we can improve this thing? And we're going to put them all up there in terms of these are the total amount of things we need to do. And then step 5 is refine and estimate the product backlog. It's crucial that people who are actually going to complete the items of the product backlog estimate how long the effort will take. The team should look at each backlog item and see if it's actually doable. Is there enough information to complete the item? Is it small enough to estimate? Is there a definition of done? That is, that everybody agrees on what standards must be met to call something done. Does it create visible value? Each item should be shown to be demonstrated to be potentially shippable. Do not estimate the product backlog in hours because people are absolutely terrible at that. Instead, estimate by relative size, like small, medium, or large, or even better, use a Fibonacci sequence to estimate the point value for each, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 13, or 21. And so now you've got all the things that you need to do, and you've got an estimate of, are they small, medium, or large in terms of the work and the effort to get this thing done. And you now start to prioritize by what has the most value on down to the thing that has the least value. And each week you take all this stuff and you say, we're only going to do these things this week, and we're going to sprint, we're going to finish these. And you've worked through that through 1 week. You see if you get those things done. Now you get a gauge of like, how fast is our team moving? How can we make it faster? What are things in the way? And you start to kind of get in a rhythm here where now you're just knocking all these things down. So you get to the end of a couple of these sprints, and your product backlog should now be moved from to do over to done. And I love this framework because it just creates immediacy. It creates deadlines that have to happen now instead of just waiting for some date far off in the future, which is the mistake that we did previously when I was running the OKRs. We would get things done, but work would fill to the allotted time, meaning if it was done in three months is when this thing was due, everything would be done, but it'd take 3 months to do it. Where with Scrum, with these weekly sprints and these kind of like forced fake deadlines, we were getting things done much more quickly, and that freed up a lot more bandwidth. So it just kind of like really reframed a lot of the ways that I think about managing teams. Finished the meeting where we built it out. Here were some of the main things that we were thinking about. Number 1, who are we designing this for? So like, who's the end user? In this case, we've got the customers, the people that are purchasing, but there's also like the managers as well that are going through the sales meetings that need to be sort of better prepared. Next was, what are the items that have the biggest impact, that are the most important to the customer, that can make us the most money, but that are also the easiest to build. So those are the main things that we're like sorting by. Then we're gonna write all those things as customer stories. So instead of just saying like the feature of new alarm system, for example, we would write it as a homeowner, I want to be able to see who's at my door so that I can open the door only for people who I want to come in. And then once you get all those down, could be 100 things. In this case, we probably had about 25. Then we got to figure out which things we're going to do and when. And to figure that out, we're going to go to the first principle of the 80-20 rule in product development. So 80% of the results and the value are going to come from 20% of the things. Said another way, 1 out of 5 things that we execute on is going to have 80% of the value. So what we pick to work on and get done is going to be that much more important. So we're going to try our best to figure out what are those 1 out of 5 things that are going to have the highest value for the end user. We go in and we look at that giant user story of the product backlog and we say, so what are 20% of the things that are going to deliver the most value? And we decide that those are the things that we're going to commit to and work on. We move those into our sprint to-dos for this week. And now the team is divided up. Here's when your things due. Here's what you're working on. And the only thing that you're going to focus on this week is only in that sprint to do. You can't think of anything else. So we get to the end of that sprint to do, and theoretically, we should have high value things with low effort completed first off that we can ship and use immediately.